was here. A gentleman by the name of Bob. I don't say any names, but he plays guitar. Told me that I am the prop, so I'm not allowed to bring them anymore. Just make do. Just saying. You need to vent. Sometimes you need to vent. So just wanted to get that off my shoulders. Happy Sunday. How is everybody today? So today's talk is sort of inspired by this past Wednesday's class. And I'm not really talking to any of you today. Today it's sort of, I'm inviting you into my own inner dialogue because this is something that I've been marinating on over the last couple of weeks, really months, but a couple of weeks. So the audience participation point of this is, I'm going to ask a question, I want you to answer me, okay? Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, I don't hear everybody. Are you ready?
Yes.
See, that's what I'm talking about. See, that's UBB. So, if I were to ask you to name something that is negative, what would you say is negative?
Donald Trump.
Donald Trump? Okay. What else? Hatred. Judgment. Fear. Two more. Racism. One more. Worry and poverty. Okay. Something that is positive. Love. Ooh, that was in unison. Did y'all practice? Whoa. Give me two more, three more. Joy, passion, diversity. Give me one more. Harmony. Now, the thing that I've been toying with is this whole idea of when you are a child, you speak as a child speaks. But when you grow older, you put away childish things and you no longer speak like a child, right? And this past Wednesday, those who were here Wednesday will remember me giving an example referencing when you were talking to your child, you do not say things like, do you have to urinate? We say things like, do you have to tinkle? Yes, mommy, I have to make lemonade. Like that's what kids do, right? But as we get older, we change and we speak a different way. Well, we as metaphysicians, as mystics, as whatever it is that we call ourselves, seekers, spiritual adepts, we still sometimes speak like children. And what I mean by that is we still use the language of our past, right? So, I don't know, do we have slides? Yes. Ooh, it's not a prop. It's not a prop. It's a visual. There's a difference. Props you hold. I can't hold that. So here we see a representation of some of the words that you mentioned, right? We see jealousy, hate, agony, wrong, nightmare, greed, to ignore. We even have time up there as a negative. Then positive, we have peace, love, dream, beautiful, rainbow. Oh, wow, that's cool. I didn't even know that. Together, freedom, etc. Now, all in all, what is that symbol referred to as? Yin and yang. The overall symbol is the yin and yang, right? Now, second slide. What is that? Battery. Now, the challenge is a battery has both positive and negative. It has two charges. Now, if I were to ask, if we take away the negative charge of the battery, does the battery serve its purpose? No. The battery, in order to give power, needs both charges, positive and negative. So the challenge then becomes, is what we're labeling negative really negative? For example, normally these are some of the qualities attributed to the yin and yang. Negative side, female. Is female or being female negative?
No.
Oh, but it's on the negative charge side. is being intuitive, negative.
No.
But it's on the negative charge side. Is the moon negative?
No.
And I know Tracy's going to say yes on this one. Is cold negative? I know she's going to say yes. So we're going to ignore her on this one. Because Tracy dresses like an Eskimo when it's 90 degrees outside. But these are the things that are given to the negative charge side of the yin and yang. So the things that we call negative, are they really negative? See, the thing is, what we are being invited to do is to have specificity of language. How many of us would go to a doctor, get a physical exam, and the doctor walks out and says, so I have your results, and they're pretty negative. We would want more information. We'd want details, like, whoa. Slow your roll, doc. What exactly do the results say? Well, according to your MRI, your EKG, your TMI, your left vertebral, layman's terms, you broke your leg. Right? That's what we want. Specificity of language. So when we say, because you can pick up, because I did this recently. I went through a whole bunch of the books that I have on my shelf, and I listened to other speakers, and I do it, and I noticed that we say that's negative. That behavior is negative. That attitude is negative. That person is negative. That political stance is negative. That's negative, that's negative, that's negative, that's negative, that's negative. And we leave it so general and broad that it really isn't that. It's not. What are we really saying then? We are saying it's not healthy. It's not effective. It may be ungodlike. It may be less divine than what you could actually demonstrate or manifest, but it's not negative when we refer to the complete wholeness and the charge of energy that is positive, that is negative. Because oftentimes what we do is we refer to this negative stuff as if it's something else. Meaning we're giving this external thing power, which means we are now serving two masters. Because we are loving the one, God, the good, omnipotent. But then there's this extra power that, well, we know there's no devil, but there's still this thing called bad, called evil, called negative, that can somehow stand against God the good. For example, we say things like, love conquers hate. The very fact that we say that says that hate is something that love even needs to stand up to fight. Love has no opposition. So love does not conquer hate, because hate is a shadow standing before love. Hate has no power. So love does not need to conquer hate. Love wins. Then that implies that something loses, and that love is battling against something to even be able to win. And there is nothing other than love. So I know that we use the phrases, and that's when I say linguistic convenience, that's what I mean. There are going to be times when, if I'm a physician and you are a physician and we are talking about our patient, then we are going to use the language of being physicians. We are going to refer to the parts of the brain or the parts of the spine that we understand, that if we were to say it to her, she would be like, my Abdullah Gumalata. What? My what? She'd be like, I don't know what that means. But we know. But when I am speaking to her about what the MRI or the X-ray showed, I'm going to say the front portion of your brain, because you don't know what it means, your prefrontal cortex. What? So I'm going to speak in a language that she knows for linguistic convenience. When I'm talking to my children or my grandchildren, I'm not going to say certain things because I know that they're going to look at me like, Pap, what are you talking about? What? So I say, what's the word that they are going to most understand? Same thing I talk about going to the restroom. There are certain ways that we reference and talk about things. Sometimes we'll ask our children or ask someone, so are you bullied? Father, can you please give me clarity on what you mean by bullied? Do the children at school tease or make fun of you? Yes, they do. Oh, this is called bullying. Oh, I do not know this. So we then teach them a new word, but they didn't get the word before. Laugh. But they didn't get the word before, right? Because they may not have had it in their lexicon. So I speak the language that I know that they know. But see, we are in this thing called unity. This thing called new thought. And we are challenged, invited, and encouraged to now bump it up, to now speak truth far more often than we may have before. So when we're talking to friends and family who don't know and still think we're in a cult, other than praying for them, when we're speaking to them, we're going to speak in terms that they understand. So we may not say to Grandma, Grandma, did you know that you are God? I may not say that to her, because I know that my grandmother will take off her shoe and throw it at me for blasphemy, because I know her, right? So I'm not going to speak, Grandma, do you know that you are made in the image and likeness of God? Oh, that resonates with her now, because even with her former, but there's resonance. Do you know that if you are made in the image and likeness of God, then everything that God is, you have to be? In the same way that my mother and father's DNA is now combined in me. So parts of them are in me. So parts of God have to be in you. And then she's like, oh boy, preach, hallelujah. Now we're on the same page. I'm speaking truth at the language and the level that she understands. That's what we're challenged to do. To know when you are in Japan, speak Japanese. When you are in China, speak Chinese. When you are wherever you are, speak the language that is spoken there, but know what your language is. Your language is truth. And anytime we see anything that is not representing that, our charge is to speak truth to it. So when we see whatever going on television, in the newspaper, on the corner, in traffic, wherever we are, what is the truth that I know? And even if I can't know it right now because I'm too invested in it, I'm too enmeshed in it, I'm too concretized in it, then what is the truth that I want to know? So when the doctor gives me bad news, and I want to feel uplifted, then let me at least acknowledge, okay, right now, what I feel is fear. It's what I feel. But what I want to feel is peace. Because the very thing that we set our gaze upon, the very thing that we set our inner eye on, the very thing that we focus on is what expands for us. I can guarantee that if I were to say, and I don't know if I've done this before, so forgive me if this is a repeat. Anybody here speak Japanese? Nobody knows Japanese? Okay, thank you, good. If somebody's lying, I can hear the whispers. I do, but I don't want to tell them. If I were to say, I will give you $1 million if you find a tengu and bring it to me today. Matter of fact, no. If you find it today, I'll give you 10. If it's tomorrow, it's 9. If it's the next day, it's 8, and so on and so forth. How many of you would say, $10 million to find a what? A stick of glue? Is that what he said? No, a tengu. It's a Japanese thing. We would do our darndest, if we wanted the money, we would do our darndest to find out what it is, where is it, how do I get it, how do I get it to him? Because we want the money. Do we do the same thing when we want the peace of mind? The joy and bliss of life? The knowingness that we are sacred and holy and worthy and God made flesh? Do we put forth the same kind of disciplined, diligent, nothing's going to stop me from getting my goal kind of attention when it's that? Some of us do, but many of us don't. And that's fine, because it's part of the journey. Many of us, the first time we made a cake in an easy bake oven, not saying that's me, but just saying. Just saying. Sometimes your first cake is in an easy bake oven, just saying. Your friend leaves it there, there's the ingredients, I want cake, making a cake. The little light bulb didn't cook it the way I wanted it to be cooked. Oh, the little light bulb didn't cook it the way it was supposed to be cooked. Wasn't me. Little light bulb didn't cook it the way it was supposed to be cooked, so it was more like pudding. Sometimes we're going to put the ingredients together and it's not going to come out the way we want it to come out. But does that mean we stop? No. Sometimes we're going to want a relationship and it doesn't work out the way we want it to work out. Does that mean we stop? For some of us, yes. I've given up on love. Did you really give up on love? Because if you're saying, I gave up on love, then you gave up on you. So what did you really, no, I'm going to take a step back. It's like being in sports. Sometimes you play and you play and you play and you sometimes get injured and you take, I'm going to sit the bench out on this one. I'm going to sit this one out. I'm going to rest and give my body a chance to heal. So you're in a relationship and something doesn't go right. Give yourself time to heal. The doctor says something, step back. Give yourself time to heal. You're watching the news and something on the news, gave you a serious right cross. Step back and give yourself time to heal. Some drama or trauma happened and you still find yourself, thought I put this stuff down. Okay, I'm not sure why I keep picking this. Give yourself time to heal. We want to rush and get through everything in our spiritual stuff like it's a microwave oven. Like I can get the turkey, pop it in, put boop, 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 3 minutes and I have Thanksgiving dinner. Thanksgiving is meant to be started the day before you're going to eat. Some of you are already plotting and planning how and what you're going to cook for the chili cook-off. And it's not here yet, but your mind is already processing and working towards it. We give ourselves time with all this other stuff. But when it comes down to being peace and being love and connecting to that divine presence within, you know, we aren't as gentle with ourselves. We aren't as surrendering or accepting of that aspect of ourselves. So the challenge, the invitation is, let's start to rework how we talk about stuff. Rework what it is we are really saying. Before, because of all the things that have happened to me in my past, you know, I used to say, I'm a survivor of abuse. I'm a survivor of this. I'm a survivor of that. The alcoholism in the family, the drug addiction in the family, all this stuff. I'm a survivor. I'm not. Because if I'm a survivor, I have to still reference the fact that that stuff had power over me, and it doesn't. I'm a thriver. I thrive in the life that I now live, period. Do I still remember that stuff? Yes. Are there moments that I still feel the angst and the pain of it? Yes. Do I let it determine or dictate how I move and go throughout my life now? No. There are moments I will trip and I will fall because part of that is being human. And do I fall and bloop? Somebody help me, I can't get up. Or do I roll or do whatever I do till I can stand up? You know, it's funny, many years ago when my granddaughter, Kitai, was like a wee baby, Tracy and I went to visit and she had an Elmo and I didn't know this thing talked. And she rolled over to crawl somewhere and she bumped it and Elmo fell over. And Elmo said, Elmo fall down. Somebody help Elmo up. Like, I'm amazed. I'm like, wait a minute. The nerd in me then goes into, first of all, I get the thing that talks, because I remember you pulled the string and, the Superman or whatever. Hi, I'm Superman, blah, blah. I remember so I get the talking part. My thing was, how does Elmo know he fell down? That's the part in my mind. How does this thing know it fell? Then he says, so Elmo fell down. Somebody help Elmo up? Nobody touched it. I'm in shock. So then, okay, Elmo go to sleep then. So Elmo was like, if y'all ain't gonna help me up, forget y'all, I'm gonna just take a nap. Tracy and I cracked up. But that's what a lot of us do. We fall down, we don't help ourselves up, nobody else helps us up, so we allow ourselves to go to sleep. The invitation is to say, not on my watch. Today I posted, for those who are friends on Facebook, I've been posting these daily, calendar things. And today I posted something reminding me of, and I don't remember how to pronounce the gentleman's last name, Martin Mueller, when he said, first they came for the socialist and I wasn't one. Then they came for the, and I wasn't that. And then they came for the, and I wasn't that. And then they came for me and there was no one left. And it makes me think about something that I posted several days ago, my public service announcement. When I said it's important for us to realize, because I've been seeing a lot of anger and hatred and stuff being spewed from spiritual people alike, saying the Women's March was stupid. It served no purpose. It was just a political stunt. And then there's the people shouldn't be going through DC breaking stuff, and there's all this stuff. And I agree, I do not condone destruction or violence in any way, shape, or form. But the idea is, I understand the angst. I understand the anger. And the thing is, unless you've been called a nigger or a faggot, unless you've gone for a job and the boss says, hey, well, if you want this promotion, wear that nice little skirt with the cleavage, and then, unless you walked down the street and had this man and that man and that man and that man whistle and ogle, and unless you've been through any of that stuff, compassion is what we're called to step into and say, I didn't experience it, but I'm willing to sit with and hold the fact that you did. And that means in order to do that, we have to change us. We have to change the language we use. We have to change our paradigms about what it means to be one. Because if there's one, then there is no me and other. There is only my sister and my brother, and I am your keeper, and you are mine. Because if I see you fall, and I do nothing because I'm afraid that if I help you when you fall down, that they will ridicule me, then what did Bishop Desmond Tutu say? If you see the oppressed being oppressed, and you do nothing, you are on the side of the oppressor. Our silence makes us implicit in the very abuse. So we have to change our language. There is only one, God, the good. So when I see anything that is contrary to that in my mind's eye, I am charged to say, can I find the good? And if I can't, then I need to be like that little girl who saw the heap of dung in her room and said, I don't see the pony, but I know there has to be one somewhere. So I don't have to see it to believe it. I'm not like Thomas, who has to put my finger in the wound, to put my finger in the side to know. I know because my life has demonstrated enough truth to know that even if I don't see this, or this, I've seen this. And that gives me the power of faith over this. Changing our language. There is no more negative specificity. There is either behavior that is less effective, or less healthy, or less Christ-like. It is language that says this person is not acknowledging or not aware of or not realizing that they are loved. Maya Angelou said, when we know better, we do better. So let's start holding one another to a higher bar that says, when you don't know better for yourself, I will know better for you. Because I know what you're capable of. Because I know what I've been through. I remember kneeling on the floor praying to the God that I knew then, asking him to kill me in my sleep. I remember that. I remember those prayers to say, I'm afraid to do it myself, so please do it for me. I remember going in Pittsburgh, finding the hills in Garfield and getting to the top and closing my eyes and going through intersections, hoping that someone coming through the intersection would end my misery. I remember all of it. But it doesn't hurt the way it did because I've allowed myself to change. I've allowed myself to realize that me, I am able to embrace him and hold him and comfort him because I know what he went through. And I know who I am now. And I know what I'm able to do now. I know what obstacles I've overcome to the point where now I understand there are no obstacles for me to overcome. Because the moment I acknowledge and accept the fullness of what I am as the I am, there is nothing that can stand in my way. So there are no obstacles. So that mountain becomes a stepping stone to the next level of greatness. That insult becomes a stepping stone to reminding me that I am magnificent. And what I know is that if it's true for me, and there's only one, then it's true for every single one of us as well. So it is.